All right, I'm excited. Back in the barn, get a little work done, and it's something that'll be fun for a change. I get to put wood siding on this wall. All right, so what my plan for this is I cut 1/2 inch thick boards. I know, I wasn't sure if that was going to be thick enough, if I'm going to get like a wavy issue with it not being 3/4 inch. I figured I would experiment and try, and worst case scenario, if it does get a little wavy, I'll just say, hey, it's a barn, man. I'm not building a beer cooler. It doesn't have to be perfect. So, all right. I started putting a few up. This is what they're going to look like. All right. Let's walk you over here. Now, these are 1/2 inch white pine. And the beauty of it is, I can use finish nails to put these up and just putty these holes. Because my wife's intention is to do some kind of fancy paint job on these. We're not staining these or anything like that. She has some plan where she's going to like paint them gray and then paint white over it and sand it and make it look rustic or something or other. I don't know. When it gets that far, I'll show you what she does. And if it works, hey, and you like it, you can copy it. And if it doesn't work, you can go, hey, don't do that. Now, basically, I figured I would do angles, all right? Just because it's more interesting to do than just laying flat boards. So I was going to do angles going this way until I reached like about here. And then I was going to have them go that way. And then I was going to go in between these two windows and have them go back that way again. Now the angle sounds complicated on the surface, but it's actually pretty easy. All right, let me set you down here. All right, we got a board here. This will be my next one. So basically what I'm doing, let me set my junk down here, is you start with one, right? So then to get the size of your next one, it's super simple because the top, this part, has to be the same size as the bottom of this one. So basically all you have to do is set the board you just cut on top of another board, draw a little line, all right, throw your initial board on the ground. I like to do that, especially when the camera's rolling. Then I take my speed square, line it up with that line, and strike a line. Then basically I'm just cutting them off. Now this one will be kind of awkward, but hiding under this ladder here doing it. Goes a little easier when you have both sides of the board supported, but what's the fun in that? There, the next one's cut. So I'll start hanging some of these up here, and we'll move along, and I'll let you know if it's working okay, this system. All right, well, this is what we got done in a half day, because I didn't get up here till about noon yesterday, and I worked till the beer ran out. So basically, if you notice, what we got is I got a pattern going this way, and then that way, and that way. And I'll obviously have trim pieces going down there. All I got left is this corner. I'm thinking I got enough wood. I'm cutting her pretty tight. But I figured I'd show you, because on this one, I started with the piece up in the corner, and I figured I'd show you when you're working down how you get your angles and cut your boards without measuring, because I very rarely measure anything. Like for this wall, I probably use this tape measure maybe 3-4 times. All right, so basically you just line up your corners, and then I draw a line roughly where that tip's going to hit, because this board is just going to continue on down like that. So then you just take your square, piece of cake. Then we'll just cut her off. It's easier when your board's level and ain't flopping around. All right, we'll get these nailed up on that wall. All right, for this end wall, I'm doing the boards horizontally. So I'm not measuring really for that either, because all I'm doing is I'm setting the boards on. I go down, I find the middle of the stud, and I draw a mark on the board, and then I go and I cut it to a 45-degree angle so the next board just kind of sits over the top of it. All right, let's go cut this off. All right, now we just take our next board. You cut a good straight edge on one end of it. Ram her down into the wall. And then you mark it. And I always like to do a little mark on which angle, the angle of the dangle, the angle you want the 45 to be, you know, which direction, so I don't mess it up at the saw. Because you can't put the wood back together. Alright, then we just take and set our board up and nail her down. Simple as that. Ooh, I must cut that one a little off. That's some character for the building. All right, now the fun part, getting rid of all these little scrap cutoffs. Now a guy has to be reasonable, because if you look around, man, the spark in the wrong place would be horrible, horrible. And if you watched a video I just did on a coaster, like I dig logs like that out, that's what I make them benches out of. So, yeah, the fun part. Trying to be a reasonable person and not get carried away, because it's more fun to throw everything on the fire at once. Well, one of the downsides of being a weekend warrior, at least for me, is I don't always get as far as I wanted to get. So this is as far as I got. I think it's looking pretty good for coming up with a design kind of on the fly. You know, it was at the last minute I decided to do this angle pattern. And then I decided to do the straight on the wall for no reason other than I was just curious how it would look. That's the beauty of doing your own projects. So I answered quite a few questions I had on this doing it. I was wondering, is 1/2 inch going to be thick enough? I was worried if I stuck my head against the wall, if I would see like a waviness to it. But I'm not really seeing any of that. Yeah, it's a rough surface. I didn't plane the boards. You may see some stick out a little further than others. And that's all I want to say by design, but I didn't do anything different to make that happen. But it's part of the look we're trying to achieve. We want it to be that rustic look. I mean, it's a barn. It's a barn, not a beer cooler. It's a barn. So that part is going good. I kind of like doing it's easier, I think, to do the angled than it is the straight for me. Because with the straight, you got to have boards the same thickness, where at least 2 boards with this width, the same thickness, where on here, you know, one board after you chopped it up, it was making it the whole length. So that was actually easier for me. Unfortunately, this is all the boards I have left. All the other boards to finish this project. I don't know if you can see them out there. They're waving in the wind. But with white pine, I've had really good luck. You know, if I cut a couple trees and it'll stay above freezing, or, you know, even if it dips freezing at night, it seems like in a month and a half, 2 months, they'll be dry enough where I'll feel comfortable sticking them on the wall and not getting big gaps. Because, like, say these boards in this wall, wow, that one's rough looking. I even left a bark on that thing. But those boards, I can't remember exactly how it went, but I had a week's vacation, and I don't know if I cut the tree down on Monday, milled the boards on a Tuesday, and I was screwing them and nailing them to the side of the building here on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, and if you look, yeah, they got gaps, but it's not the end of the world. You know, them were just basically, instead of using plywood sheathing, I use them as sheathing. So I expected them to move. All the boards on the outside, I made sure were all dry because I wanted that to look good. But these boards, other than you seeing them right now, no one's ever going to see them. All right. So I probably won't go over anything else with doing these boards on the walls, but I may do a quick video because once it gets up there, I'm going to do like I don't know, on totem poles, a lot of times they'll have a sun with like weird squiggly marks. So it's going to be one of those totem pole suns, and then there's going to be squiggly marks built into the wall. So that might be cool. I might videotape that. It might not be cool either, too, but I don't know. Either way, that's what's going on my wall. So when I get that far, I'll probably tape that. But otherwise, I won't bore you with any more sticking boards on walls. But, and if, like, when it comes to the boards drying, I mean, in my other videos that'll be coming out, you may see the walls, like, just sitting idle and not anymore going. It's because I have so many projects to do. I have to put a shower in, the bathroom, the toilet, a compost toilet, and I'm going to use an RV toilet for number ones, just so it just flushes outside into a tank. But we'll compost the number twos, and then I got to put a water tank up there, a pump, all the goodies. But when we get that far, I'll make a video of it, so you can watch my mistakes and you can not recreate them. Or if something works, you can go, hey, I'll try that. But I guess I'll quit jabbering on because I'm hungry and there ain't no food here. So have a good time and catch you later.